So I've just visited the dentist in the first time in about 3 years, and my experience with that was just something I've never ever felt or experienced before in my life. So basically, yeah. So the first thing I felt was the turmoil of going to the dentist. I think it's something everybody feels if they haven't gone in a long time or just going in general, but I remember just be dreading the day that one Thursday I would have to go and get checked out or, stuff like that. And I was in the car just looking out the window. I was just in a very solemn mood or sullen mood, or I was just downcast, and I don't know. I don't know what was so bad about the dentist, because last time I went there, they just did me dirty. They just shredded my mouth up. My teeth and gums was hurting for days. The whole roof of my mouth was skewered. I mean, skewered, man. I've never mistreated my teeth again after that. But yeah, so then I remember the long trip, and that trip all the way to the dentist was just me dreading to go there. And that's what made it so bad. It was just dreadful, because I knew I was heading right towards one of my biggest fears, and it was just crazy. So then I get to the dentist, and I'm greeted by the dentist. She tells me to sit down, and she gives me the gas, the laughing gas. That's what they like to call it. So yeah, then I'm like, so after I'm hooked up to the thing, and like the gas thing is on my nose, and it's just feeding the gas to me, it's all normal. I'm just having a conversation with my mom, and I'm breathing through my mouth, so I'm not getting as much of that gas as I'm supposed to. So she told me I can go ahead and, she told me she was gonna be quiet so I can soak up some of the gas before the dentist came back. And so I'm just sitting there for a few minutes, breathing in through my nose, breathe out through my nose, keep my mouth closed, just over and over again. So then it happened. I'm like, it was the weirdest thing I've ever felt. It's just my body was there, but not there. It's like I was inside of my body was slowly, it felt like my body was slowly but painlessly deteriorating. My whole body was going numb, not just my mouth, my whole body. So then my brain goes buzz, like my brain is just buzzing. And I'm just sitting there, like I'm scared of taking the gas, and I want to get off, but I'm not, because I was gonna make a scene over, oh, I'm too scared to take this gas, and I don't like the way it's making me feel, so I keep it on for a few minutes. Then I was able to come to terms with what the gas was doing. My heartbeat, I could feel my heartbeat through my chest. And if you don't know, your body like numbs your heartbeat for you, so you don't constantly feel it throughout every second of your life. So it's just, and I hated that, because then the beat started, like, it started to mess up my breathing. Like, not mess it up, but it just made me hate, like, trying to breathe. And it's like every breath is kind of a struggle, because it feels like a weight is on my chest because of the beats I feel. So yeah, so I'm in this state, and the dentist comes in, and she asked me, how do I feel? I said, I feel fine. And she says, okay. She sits down on my right side, and another one comes in on my left side, and she tells me to open my mouth. Of course, at the dentist, I open my mouth, and she do what they all do. Just get the syringe and just right here, one right here and one right there. And it numbs not just my mouth, but that whole side of my face. It's just, I can't feel it. I was just doing all like that. I can't feel it. So then they let that medicine work for about 10 minutes before they came back and started working my teeth. So the lady on my left side, she got like a block, kind of like a block, and put it in my mouth so I could relax. Cause you know, I was still kind of drowsy from that gas, and she put it in my mouth, and I could feel them drilling into my teeth, but it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all. And that's when I started to really see pain for what pain really is. I started feeling it on my cheek, but I was feeling the pain if pain wasn't painful. If you get what I mean. If I started feeling pain, but in a manner that wasn't painful. In another universe where pain isn't painful. So that's when I started. That was really when I started to see pain for what it really was. Pain isn't to ruin your life or just make you miserable or I got a cut. Pain is a mechanism to notify you when you are feeling something that's negative to your body or your evolutionary responses that tells you to go get help. So I was just closing my eyes and the gas was working on me and my imagination was just going wild. I was inside my brain and I knew I was going to be there for hours, but it was just so comforting that I was just thinking to myself, it was so comforting that I couldn't feel the pain. And since the gas was working on my head, I would just have this infinite paradise of my imagination to entertain me the whole way. And it was just a whole movie in my head. It was just a whole movie, supernatural and stuff. And then I just opened my eyes and remember I'm at the dentist. So they filled my tooth right here. And see, this is gonna sound weird, but mid-session, like mid-feeling, I had to pee really bad. So I said, hey, can I use the bathroom? But I'm sure I sound like, hey, can I use the bathroom? Because I was on that gas and they numbed my cheeks. So they said, yeah, they took me off the gas and put some oxygen on, like, you know, some regular oxygen. And they told me to stay there for a few minutes and let the oxygen work. So I wouldn't like fall over because of the gas. I was just kind of out of it. So a few minutes later, I went to the bathroom and nothing seemed real because it was just, I was in such a vacant state of my head. So I used the bathroom and come back. I use the bathroom, wipe my hands, come back. And I sit down and they come back and they put me back on the gas and they let the gas work again. And so I leave for about 15 minutes and let the gas work on my head. And my body just started floating, but not in a pleasant way, in a way that was uncomfortable, that I didn't like. I do not like the gas. I do not like the laughing gas. It's not making me comfortable. But yeah, so they filled my teeth. And when I got out, it was just so, I don't know how to describe it. It was awkward trying to move around because I was just so jerky and stuff. And so yeah, I sat back down in the car to go home. But like I was saying earlier, like I was saying a few minutes ago, the car ride was just dreading. Not because I had to go to the dentist, because I already did. I already got everything done and everything was over. But because, I don't know why, but some of the residual turmoil was still so nerve-wracking. And I sat down in the car and I think I nodded off. And I woke up and we was on the way home. And I could not move. Not only was it numb, I couldn't move this whole side of my face, except for my eyes, of course. But I tried to like eat, and it was just stuck like that. I like, and it was just my lip like that. I tried to like strain this so we can move. I'll try to like smile, but it was like I couldn't move it. And so it was the most unpleasant. That's always the most unpleasant part of going after the dentist visit. And I don't know, it was just so weird to me, just because I haven't gone to the dentist in literal years. And wow, I still gotta go again to get some cavities filled in 2 weeks from now. This is finna be crazy, man. I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go. Hey, but anyway, yeah, that was basically how I saw everything when I went back to the dentist. Make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment of what you thought and how your dentist experience was, or any experience in general. And yeah.